Have you ever wanted to take a trip down a beautiful Blue River? Well, here's your chance. My name is Karen Schwartz, and I have the honor of serving as the president of the Historical Society of Harrison County, Indiana. In our journey along Blue River Project, we are going to travel the length of Blue River, starting up at its source in Washington County, then meander down through Harrison and Crawford counties, and wind up at the mouth of Blue River. The objective for our journey along Blue River Project is to share the beauty of the scenic river, accompanied by snippets from the rich history of Blue River. To fulfill this objective, we will continually strive to provide a sense of place by providing brief information about the small towns, mills, and other points of interest along the way. Blue River was designated as Indiana's first state natural and scenic river system in the 1970s. Journey along Blue River Project is funded through a grant from the Indiana Arts Commission, which is matched by the Harrison County Community Foundation. We hope you will enjoy our trip. So grab a paddle, sit back, and enjoy the ride on our journey along Blue River. We begin our pursuit of the South Branch of Blue River on North Liberty Road in front of the New Liberty Baptist Church. New Liberty is where the South Fork of Blue River begins. New Liberty is an unincorporated community in Franklin Township, Washington County, Indiana. We're standing at the inception of the South Fork of Blue River, where Poplar Branch meets Springle Creek. We are approximately 3.5 miles southwest of the town of New Liberty on Blue River Road. The site is overgrown, shallow, and non-navigable, as are most of the tributaries on Blue River. The Pekin story is a little complicated. Here we are in Pekin, standing on the old iron bridge. Here's the thing. There's an old Pekin and a new Pekin. The town of Old Pekin was an unincorporated town in Polk Township in Washington County on the Mutton Fork of Blue River. As early as 1830, stagecoaches made regular runs from Jeffersonville and Salem to Pekin, a staging stop to water and exchange horses. Old Pekin prospered until the arrival of the railroad in 1851, when the train station, which also housed the post office and a store, was located on the north side of the river, where the ground was more level. Traffic and commerce migrated to the new site, New Pekin, and in 1854, Old Pekin, which lies just southeast of New Pekin, was declared vacant by the Washington County Commissioners. The original town plat for New Pekin was made on December 23rd, 1883 by W.A. Graves. And the town of New Pekin was incorporated in 1903. Pekin claims the distinction of having the oldest continuous Independence Day celebration in the United States of America, with a string dating back all the way back to 1830. Pekin Park also features a Guinness World Record certificate. The largest spoons ensemble featured 1,352 participants, led by Steve Spoonman Tankersley, all USA, playing along to Ragtime Annie in Pekin, Indiana, USA, on the 4th of July, 2011. We're going to begin our journey down the North Fork of Blue River in the town of Salem. Salem has a rich history. William Lindley, a land surveyor, built a cabin just south of Blue River and hosted a group of men who were sent to choose a site for the town. Salem was laid out and platted in 1814. It was named for Salem, North Carolina, the former hometown of the Lindleys. The Salem Post Office has been in operation since 1816. Salem serves as the county seat of Washington County, Indiana, and is located in Washington Township, both of which, of course, are named for the nation's first president, George Washington. The center of the town is the town square that you see pictured behind me. The current courthouse, which you see behind me, is the third on the site. It was built in 1888. In 1847, at a meeting with New Albany businessmen at New Providence, now Borden, the New Albany-Salem Railroad was organized. And on January 14, 1851, the first train arrived in Salem, marking the completion of the line and providing a major link for Salem to the outside world. The early pioneers crossed the Ohio River and followed buffalo traces and deer trails to the site. To find out more about the history of Salem, you can visit the Stevens Museum behind me at the John Hay Center in Salem, home of the Washington County Historical Society. Behind me you see two tributaries that come together to form the beginnings of the North Fork of Blue River at Salem, Indiana. Here we are at Beck's Mill, one of the last remaining mills in the area. It's on a tributary of Blue River known as Mill Creek. It's been beautifully restored by the Friends of Beck's Mill. It's open on Saturdays and Sundays, April to October from 1 to 4. Oregon Springs is an unincorporated community in Howard Township in Washington County, Indiana. Its namesake, Oregon Spring, was named because of the music emanating from the dripping water of a nearby cave. A post office was established at Oregon Spring in 1858. There was also a mill at Oregon Spring. The Oregon Spring Post Office was discontinued in 1901. Well, we've struggled long and hard as we've explored tributaries, creeks, branches, forks. This is where it all comes together to this majestic moment where we arrive. All of those come together to form Blue River. This is where scenic Blue River begins. This is where the navigable portion of Blue River begins. It's 57 miles from here down to Leavenworth at the Ohio River. So get your paddle and start paddling downriver. Fredericksburg was laid out in 1815. The town of Fredericksburg was named for Frederick Royce, who was the original owner of the town site. His tombstone and historic marker have been moved to nearby Horner's Chapel. The post office was established in 1819 and Fredericksburg was incorporated in 1859. Fredericksburg is located in Posey Township in Washington County, Indiana. The town sits right on Blue River, a valuable resource as the construction of a mill brought growth and prosperity to the town of Fredericksburg. But as the need for water-powered mills was replaced by electricity, the river became somewhat of a liability since the entire town of Fredericksburg was located in the floodplain, therefore highly susceptible to flooding, which caused the town to decline. Consequently, the town of Fredericksburg disincorporated in June 2012. Old Mill Canoe Rental, which is where we are right now, is located in Fredericksburg, where the 57-mile navigable portion of Blue River begins its journey to the river's mouth at Leavenworth. Adventure, here we come. Totten Ford Bridge offers private access to Blue River through Cave Country canoes. The bridge is one of the few remaining iron bridges along Blue River. It is 161 feet long and it connects Crawford County and Harrison County. It was built in 1916 and is Crawford County Bridge number 7. This is an increasingly rare example of a pin-connected Parker truss bridge in Indiana. It is open to vehicle traffic. In the year 1818, the two Leavenworth brothers, Seth and Zebulon, erected a grist mill, a flour mill, bird type, a carding mill, and a sawmill. All of these run by water power from Blue River, as it was an excellent location for a dam. For a long time, this locality was known as Leavenworth Mills. About the year 1827, Leavenworth made a plat and filed it in the Crawford County Recorder's Office, then located at Fredonia, naming the settlement Milltown, Indiana. Milltown is a town that sits right on Blue River, part in Harrison County, part in Crawford County. Spencer Township and Blue River Township in Harrison County, and Whiskey Run Township in Crawford County, Indiana. This bridge used to be a covered bridge. But both the covered bridge and the mill have been torn down, and the old wooden dam has been replaced by a modern concrete dam. The southwest corner of Blue River Township in Harrison County is known as the Milltown Corner because Blue River forms a pocket around that area. Cave Country Canoes is located in downtown Milltown. We're standing here on Rothrock's Mill Bridge. We just came down Snake Hill behind me. Babcock Mill and Solomon Rothrock Mill are located upriver. Downriver is the Rothrock Mill access site. The historic Rothrock Mill Bridge has been removed and installed on the Indian Creek walking trail through Hazelwood Park in Corydon, Indiana. Rothrock's Mill, River Mile 20.5. Actually, there were 6 Rothrock mills up and down Blue River. But this Rothrock Mill, the most well-known Rothrock Mill, was operated by Luther and Henry Rothrock, sons of Philo Rothrock, who was a son of Solomon Rothrock, who was son of the original Peter Rothrock, who settled downriver at Wyandotte. The historic mill was torn down in 1986, but remnants, including the pillars and pieces of the dam, remain. Rothrock's Mill also serves as a public access point for swimmers, fishermen, kayakers, and canoers. It is operated by Indiana Department of Natural Resources. Blue River Village is located on Blue River between the sites of the Philo Rothrock Mill and Sharp's Mill. In the early days, there was a swinging bridge across Blue River. Blue River Village is mostly a weekend community of camps on the banks of Blue River. It was carved from the nearby Harmon Farm. Gibbs Wiseman built a shelter house known as Gibbs's Grove in Blue River Village in 1934, where picnics were held by churches, Farm Bureau, homemakers, and other community groups. Sharp's Mill, also known as Sharptown, located in Spencer Township, was a bustling industrial community that featured saw, grist, and carding mills operated by Horatio Sharp and later his son, Abraham Sharp, utilizing water power from Blue River. The 4-story mill was built about 1845 and burned to the ground on April 18, 1897. Sharptown had about 15 houses, a post office, and a general store operated by William R. Swearens, as well as a township library in the home of Judge P. R. Wilson. I'm moored here at the site of Camp Mary Ledges. This was a camp that was administered by the Wesley Community House in Butchertown in Louisville, Kentucky. And each summer, they would bring inner city children out to experience life in the country along Blue River. Slabtown. Slabtown, also in Spencer Township, is located just above the junction where one of Blue River's largest tributaries, Harrison Spring, empties into Blue River, right here behind me. It's called Harrison Spring because William Henry Harrison owned property here and also operated a mill farther up Harrison Spring. In early days, there was a covered bridge here at Slabtown, which was replaced by an iron bridge in 1887. Abram Rothrock built a 4-story mill and sawmill on the Spring Branch near the mouth of Harrison Spring. Abram also built nearby Fountain Church and served as postmaster for the Rothrock Mill community here at Slabtown. Later, H.R. LeMay purchased the mill and operated a booming business known as the LeMay Handle Factory. The Handle Factory burned down on January 18, 1913. White Cloud. On May 11, 1880, William R. Rothrock, brother to Abram Rothrock, both of them sons of Henry Peter, son of Peter Rothrock, the original, who settled at Wyandotte, moved his family from his home, known as Twin Chimneys, down in Fox Holler in then Scott Township, here to White Cloud. He built a substantial mill in 1882 at a cost of $18,000. This mill originally was known as the Beechwood Mill. It was designed to process flour and functioned as both a grist and sawmill. William's wife, Mary Ann McCullum, named the town for white clouds floating in the blue sky above their home, as well as for a Native American chief she had read a story about who went by the name White Cloud. The first White Cloud Bridge was wooden, followed by an iron bridge built in the years 1882 to 1883 and removed in the 1990s. The Rothrocks operated a post office in their home from 1884 to 1934. Prior to Highway 62, all traffic traveling toward Leavenworth and even to St. Louis passed through the tiny town of White Cloud. The White Cloud Mill operated until 1950 and collapsed in 1968. There was also a gas station you see behind me, which also was a general store. There was a school and the famed Blue River Inn restaurant, which operated in the former Rothrock home. Blue River Chapel. The church, which you see behind me, has been closed many years, but in the day it was known as Blue River Chapel United Brethren. Blue River Chapel was on a charge with nearby Fountain Church, and the two shared a parsonage and a pastor and a fellowship hall. Sunday night community services are currently held at the church. Blue River Chapel Cemetery, established in 1897, is also located at the Blue River Chapel site. Many local families are buried in this cemetery. Blue River Chapel, Mile 11, is a public access site for Blue River. Stage Stop Campground at Mile 10 is listed as a public access point for Blue River, but this is walking access only at this time. You cannot drive a vehicle back there. So if you put in or take out a kayak or canoe, you have to carry it more than a mile down to the river or back up the hill to Highway 62. The campground currently is not open for camping at this time. Wyandotte is an unincorporated community located in Crawford County, Indiana, about halfway between Corydon and Leavenworth. A post office was established at Wyandotte in 1884 and remained in operation until it was discontinued in 1971. The Rothrock Cemetery is also at Wyandotte and contains the burials of early members of the Rothrock family, including Peter Rothrock and his wife Margaret and many of their descendants. Wyandotte was the home of the original members of the Rothrock family who arrived here in 1819. The town took its name from the nearby Wyandotte Caves, which the Rothrock family owned and operated. There was also the original Rothrock Mill on Blue River, right here at Wyandotte, which was established by the family patriarch Peter Rothrock and his son Henry Peter. Breeden's Bridge. Breeden's Bridge serves as a public access point for Blue River at mile 3, upriver from the mouth of Blue River. Breeden's Bridge is an unusual bridge with an interesting story because it is a mismatched bridge constructed from two different bridges. Breeden's Bridge consists of two different types of truss spans, which were made in different years, and also both spans originated from two different locations. The spans were relocated to their present location in 1959. The Parker Truss span is 400 feet long and was constructed in 1900. The Pratt Truss span was constructed in 1883 and is reported to be the oldest of its type in Indiana. The river town of Leavenworth served as an Ohio river port for keel boats, flatboats, and packets to ship things like pork, spirits, produce, corn, lumber, etc. Industries in the town of Leavenworth included manufactured skiffs, flatboats, and pearl buttons. Leavenworth served as the Crawford County seat from 1843 to 1895, when the capital was moved to the town of English. After the devastating 1937 flood, the town was relocated to the present site atop the hill. The mouth of Blue River, where it empties into the Ohio River, lies just upstream. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our journey along Blue River. Let's recap our trip downstream. We began upriver with the many tributaries of Blue River up in Washington County and ended right here at the mouth of Blue River, where it empties into the Ohio River on its journey toward New Orleans. The Blue River watershed that we've covered covers thousands of acres in southern Indiana. On our journey, we visited the small towns of Salem, Pekin, Milltown, White Cloud, Wyandotte, Leavenworth, along with multiple stops at other communities, at river access points, mill sites, churches, bridges, and other points of interest along the way. I have spent countless hours swimming, fishing, wading, hiking, boating, and inner tubing in and along Blue River. I have personally kayaked that entire river from Fredericksburg all the way down to the mouth of Blue River at the Ohio River. Not in one adventure, though. It always takes us longer than the published times for trips, and it is important to remember that Blue River is a wild river, and most of the property along the riverbanks is private property with limited access to the outside world. Happy paddling! River rats rule!